Merriam-Webster defines objectivity as the quality or character of being objective, lack of favoritism toward one side or another, freedom from bias. Being a viewer and consumer of news my entire life, I have never really put too much thought into the elements of journalism, and I didn't think they necessarily applied to my life. However, journalists all use the same practices in order to ensure that viewers, like myself, are receiving the most accurate information without having to question how good a bad or job the reporter has done. One of these practices is using objectivity in their reporting. One of the books we read this semester focuses wholly on the different aspects of objectivity and how it means so much not to only journalists but to consumers of news as well. These are the elements of objectivity. Detachment. This allows for all types of consumers to read whichever news source they like. It comes from when papers detached from their social or political classes and wrote news for the general public. Nonpartisanship. Journalists must not express their own opinions, like political opinions, in their reporting. Inverted pyramid is reporting the most important information at the beginning of the story. Facticity. Always reporting the facts as to not give consumers any misinformation and leading them to incorrect conclusions. Balance. Keeping their reporting proportional. The book Just the Facts gave us the basis for how journalists use objectivity and how it came to be that way. Unbelievable by Katie Tur, who was a correspondent for NBC during the 2016 election, illustrates the use of objectivity in action. Tur gives all the details of her experience of the Trump campaign. She recalls the time she was called out by Mr. Trump, the time Trump said things that have never been said before by a presidential candidate on television, and many other unbelievable stories of the campaign. However, Tur never gives her opinion on the matter. She only writes her experience of it. She does not express her like or dislike of the candidate, only the situations that she's in.
On the campaign trail, he was always, calling on you and singling you out, Katie Tur, from the mic. It's a very strange and rare thing for a candidate to do that. In the course of writing the book, have you figured out why he would come after you, specifically you?
I have not personally figured out why it was me, but I will say that it started from the very beginning. It could have had something to do with me being the first network correspondent that was assigned to cover him. I was the very first one there taking the campaign seriously at a time when there were headlines that said, Donald Trump is running for president, it's going to be so hilarious. And
Even after the election was over, Tur still took her position in the matter very seriously. She never talks poorly about the now president, nor did she when she was a correspondent. She clearly says she took the campaign very seriously, and she kept her emotions and opinions to herself, inside and outside the campaign. She successfully stays objective even when others around her, like these talk show hosts, are not. Objectivity has been pretty straightforward in the media for a while, but with the emergence of the popularity of social media, the definition of journalists and objectivity may be up for change. As demonstrated by the examples in Like War, practically anyone with a social media account can post whatever they want, no matter if it's true, false, or will hurt someone. With this type of so-called publishing power given to the general public, it's difficult for them to stay objective since they weren't trained to do so. However, professional journalists and news outlets are not run by regular people. There may be some news outlets that openly lean one way or another politically, but if they are going to report breaking news or a big story, they are mostly going to keep to just the facts. Journalists are trained professionals working their hardest to keep their news not only relevant and interesting, but free from insinuating opinions as to not ruin the experience for observing news for the viewer. Journalists stay objective in order for viewers to form their own conclusions from the news, not the reporters doing it for them.